everybody! It is Monday, March the 9th, 2020, and this is your Mr. Video Game Live Super Show, brought to you by Dead Sun Entertainment. Everybody, clap your hands, say yeah, we are so glad to be here tonight. I mean, those of us who could be here tonight. I am Slacker Kite, our good boy, Brian Wonderboy. He is off reporting the news out there in the wild. He was supposed to be home by now, but he is in the middle of a airplane flight. So, Lady Merowyn, I understand you have somebody for us today.
I do. I have somebody very special for us tonight. We have someone who has joined me on one of my streams, the only person that has co-streamed with me so far. My wonderful younger sister, Magdalene Vale. And y'all be super nice to her, give her a good Dead Sun welcome, show her some love, make her feel welcome, because, you know, that's what we do here. We are a loving, caring community, especially when it comes to throwing subs at us to force dear Travis to have to stream a certain demo.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So Maggie, welcome.
Well, thank you. You make it sound like it's a good thing that I'm here. Like we didn't just get very drunk and yell at video games the last time we streamed together.
We were sober.
Sure. We'll go with that.
That's a word. Don't you believe it?
Those brown bottles were definitely water.
Oh shit, yeah, we were drinking. Whoops.
So, as Merowyn mentioned, I'll just move over to that thing. I want to thank, of course, Coop, John Borg, and Kelvorin, all who directly after I said, okay, if you guys really want me to play it, throw some subscribers in. And we went from 1 to 12 subscribers, like, in 3 minutes after mentioning that, which...
I hadn't even finished putting the announcement in Discord with our whole campaign program of, you know, give us our 15 subs or our 10 subs before the actual game drops in 5 weeks. I didn't even finish. Like, legit, it's that Discord post and then a minute later us going, wow.
I mean, like, it's insane. Merowyn told me the news, and it just kind of shocked me, to be honest. Like, super happy for you guys, though.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird, but, yeah, you can see, literally on our channel, plug, on YouTube, CBGP Games. For once, I can stream my own fucking footage. We were able to capture myself playing Final Fantasy VII. I haven't actually done anything with the capture card before. Mostly, the capture card is Jones, so she occasionally streams with things. So I won't lie and say that there were not some interesting hiccups during the stream that I wish I had taken more time to fix, but literally it took me an hour to set up everything, and by the time I got that set up, I was like, I'm fucking done.
I had a few minutes to just tune in and lurk because I was visiting Maggie while you were streaming. And I was there just in time to see you go, okay, cool, this looks awesome, and crash.
Yeah, that was actually, that was fascinating. Let's just move forward to that, because that was unexpected that just in the middle of the stream, the game fucking crashed. Yeah, right there, actually. Let's move that forward just a tiny fraction of a bit. There you go.
Yeah, and you had to restart, didn't you?
Yeah, so when you're putting out your demo for the world to see for the first time, I wonder how many people actually got the same crash I did.
Just floating around on Facebook, I saw a few of my friends that were like super gung ho to jump in and play this go, yeah, so I'm getting like crashes often.
Yeah, I had a couple people who the initial, like, beginning cutscene wouldn't even load.
Yeah, that doesn't make people feel good most of the time when even the cutscene won't load, much less you get into the first fight against guys and you get a crash. Now, the rest of the stream went fine afterwards. We restarted here, and for the next hour worth of gameplay, everything was fine. It was great, so...
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I can't be that mad at it, but at the same time, it's not a good look, but obviously the game is fucking gorgeous. I'm looking forward to playing it, and hey, they still have a month and a half to iron out all these bugs, right? Hopefully.
Why though? Like, if the demo's crashing already, it kind of, I don't know. The tingles are going for how good the actual gameplay is going to be.
I'll cross both my fingers, of course. Like, I've played games that launched with some really shitty bugs. Control, for instance, my favorite game of last year, had FPS issues out the wazoo on my PlayStation, sometimes running at like 2 or 3 frames per second. No, I don't have anything to count the frames, but...
You had the flipbook status.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, like you and I played WoW for a decade and a bit, and every single X-Pack, it was game-breaking crashes and everything.
Yeah, so admittedly, I'm a little bit more resistant to these sorts of things. Like, I see that, like, oh, that's nothing. But, you know, if you're looking at this and going, hey, is this going to represent the quality of the game for a lot of people? And there's people whose PlayStations are probably in worse shape than mine is. Especially considering that was playing on Joan's very recently ordered Pro PlayStation, so...
Ooh.
Yeah, she ordered that, like, what, half a year ago? So, doesn't really make me feel squishy.
Oof.
Well, anyway, enough talking about the stream, what our friends paid for, and yet again, thank you all. I do see Calvin out and about, so thank you for the sub, and let's just jump into the news. The first item, the 2020 BAFTA Game Awards, have been announced, and we... the British Academy Game Awards, yes. And I have to say, of all of the Game Awards, this one has been the most I'd, like, look at the list and go, yeah, this makes sense. For instance, best game of last year. Control, Disco Elysium, Luigi's Mansion 3, Outer Wilds, Sekiro, and Untitled Goose Game. I do believe Untitled Goose Game won.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, I can get behind these nominees. Like, unlike the DICE Awards, like the fuck. But like this, yes, I can deal with this.
Yeah, like all of the various people who put Death Stranding as Game of the Year, I'm just like, okay, I love the game. How do you put that on your Game of the Year?
It's a glorified walking simulator. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, it's a cool story, great animation, great audio, but Game of the Year, no, not for it.
See, whereas a year ago, prior to this game coming out, if somebody had gone, dude, it's just going to be a glorified walking simulator, you and Brian would have torn them apart.
No, I would have believed them, to be honest with you. I told you that game was going to come in one of two flavors. Either wonderful or, what is this? Now, I do love, since it's the British Game Award, the British Game of the Year. They have, as a category, Dirt Rally 2, Heaven's Vault, Knights and Bikes, Observation, Planet Zoo, and Total War 3 Kingdoms.
Okay, so I'd have to either give it to Observation or Planet Zoo.
I literally have never heard of any game but Dirt Rally. I know Dirt Rally, the rest of these I'll look at. What are you talking about?
Dude, you watched me stream Observation.
Oh, shit, that game!
Yeah, I'd have to give it to Observation as well. It's a stellar game, stellar story, beautiful, and not very buggy from what I've experienced.
And I mean, honestly, No Code and Devolver working together again, especially after Stories Untold. We need more. Give me more.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, the full British Game Award will be coming out. What is it? April 2nd. So hey, look forward to that. And I'm just gonna throw out maybe Control gets another win here, maybe.
All right, so if the awards are on April 2nd, you guys know that we'll be reporting on it on the 6th. So it'll give you guys time to get over your shock and awe and all of that. And then we'll go into a bit of a deep dive and a lot of yelling and screaming and swearing when the inevitable happens and something wins that shouldn't have won.
I already know I'm going to get tilted about performer in a leading role, so...
Let's see, performer in a leading role. We had Laura Bailey, it's Cats and Gears 5. It was actually a good performance. Courtney Hope is Jesse Fade in Control, also good. What is Telling Lies? I actually don't remember that game. Life is Strange 2. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Death Stranding? I don't know, man. I will say Norman Reedus actually was pretty good in Death Stranding. Not as good as the guy that played the bad guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his machinations were amazing.
I mean, Laura Bailey typically gets awards no matter what she does. So...
But she hasn't won anything this year.
Yet. But she also hasn't done a lot this year. Like, Gears 5 kind of took over her life.
True. I mean, it just... With everything that's happened with Death Stranding, you know it's going to go to Norman Reedus. No character, no matter what he plays. So it'd be nice to see it go to somebody who's not an A-list celebrity.
Fair.
I mean, I would fully support for like the this performer in a supporting role, seeing Troy Baker get that for his work in Death Stranding.
That was who I was thinking of. Troy Baker was amazing as Higgs in Death Stranding. The scenery chew was phenomenal.
Especially since like he's going up against the woman who played Fragile in Death Stranding. I would much rather see Troy Baker pull that.
Fair. Hey, Coop, how's it going?
Although, I mean, technical achievement, the fact that Control's on there, the fact that Plague Tale's on there, the fact that Metro Exodus is on there, and Sekiro. I mean, I'd like to see Plague Tale take it.
I don't know if they will, but yeah, the rats in the Plague Tale were really interesting how they put that together. So I could definitely see it winning, but I have trouble seeing it winning. You could even give me a reason that Modern Warfare could potentially take technical achievement.
And the fact that for narrative, It is a Death Stranding free category. We have Control, Disco Elysium, Life is Strange 2, Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Honestly, I would give it to either Disco Elysium or Control, really. And I know there are people who
Unpopular
are...
opinion time.
Huh?
Oh, give it.
Honestly, Life is Strange 2 was really, really good.
Really, that's surprising. Like, I know a lot of people who played Life is Strange 2 and were not as big of a fan after the first kind of blew away a lot of people. So I don't know if that's just high expectations or what.
Oh, it's always gonna have like a high expectation whenever you do a direct tie-in to an original game.
Mm-hmm.
But it was what they worked with and how long they actually took to get the game out. Being good. It's a really neat story.
Fair enough. At some point, I'm going to play it, but I keep saying that about literally everything. And, of course, Hades has another patch coming tomorrow, so I don't really see myself doing it over the next week.
Are you going to stream it on Sunday?
We'll see. Maybe, possibly, I don't know.
I think we should make game time with Uncle Travis a weekly thing.
If I do it maybe more like Thursday, I'll figure it out. But I'm going to have to spend some time with it first, definitely on my own before I bother to stream it, because it's the only game I'm actually any fucking good at right now, so...
See, typically, if I stream a game, I'm willing to dive into it like sight unseen.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, people are used to be flailing around and failing miserably, so...
Normally I am fine with flailing around and stuff, but this is the first game where my ego's on the line, madam, so... I have to pretend like I fucking know something. Speaking of shows, E3, you may know that, especially in the great state of California, they have declared a state of emergency currently, and we are not exactly very far off from E3 coming in early June. However, the ESA has said at this time they have no plans to change anything at the moment. Unlike literally everything else, South by Southwest, PAX East, well, no, PAX East kept going, but the game design conference, I can word well, I fucking promise. Yeah. In the press release with Game Connection America, they announced they will be going forward as planned. Continued updates continue to say they will be going despite the fact that COVID-19 has a current state of emergency for both New York State and California. I'm so glad to be in an area considered a state of emergency right now.
Okay, so it's going on as planned as of now.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the ESA
Mm-hmm.
and all of the shenanigans they pull, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying so hard to be nice, and it's killing me, guys. It's going to be an 11th hour cancellation.
You think they would really pull that? Like, at the very last fucking second?
Okay, they've leaked how much info about their attendees and the journalists.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They've leaked themselves.
Yes.
Really? It wouldn't surprise me at all. ESA is scum, man.
Considering with GDC how very quick so many people were to pull out before GDC finally said fuck it and pulled the plug on it. What it was like, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, all of the big people had pulled out. Facebook, just anyone involved with video games had pulled out before. They're like, I guess we're not doing it now. We'll do it sometime later.
Yeah, so I mean the question is like it's going to depend on the progression of COVID-19 to see where it goes and how it moves. But so a lot of companies are holding off on firming up. Yes, no, we're absolutely canceling. We're not going to E3. I mean, either the ESA is going to do an 11th hour cancellation or everybody who's anybody is going to pull out and they're still going to try to put it on.
I mean, wouldn't that be great if E3 continues to try to go on despite the fact that, like, literally nobody is there? It's just a hall of advertisements.
Well, of course, they have all of their installations and their activations in the lines. So, I mean, they still have to do that, right?
You know, I will say with the whole COVID-19 thing, and especially watching myself on stream, I'm starting to realize exactly how many times when I talk, I touch my face. A whole lot of the hand gestures, and then, yes, yeah, with the hand to the mouth. I wouldn't go. Just because I'd hurt myself.
There are times I feel like I need one of the cones of shame because of how often I touch my face, just unconsciously. And I mean, like at work, I'm fucking terrified because we're pretty much in a hermetically sealed box that has recycled air. So one person brings it in, we're all fucked. Like there's no pressure in the building.
I work in an industry where it's like literally dealing with people all day, every day. I take the busiest form of public transportation to get to and from work, and it's just a 3-page email we got from HR about, you know, proper hygiene and dealing with the public, and it's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, because you live in the city, so you have to deal with it way more. Like, I'm on the outskirts of Buffalo here, so, and also I work from home anyway, so if I want to avoid people all day, I can do it all day, every day, no problem.
It's literally been people wearing like the personal space bubble hula hoop rings on the subway, and it's getting ridiculous.
Have you guys figured out your hand washing mantra? Myself, I'm going with the Team Rocket motto to remind myself to go for the whole 30-second worth of hand scrubbing.
Yeah, the 2008 scene kid in me is using the first 30 seconds of Welcome to the Black Parade by MCR.
I've been using the Star Trek Next Generation intro.
It's good to know we're all on the same page here.
I'm nerd.
Please, Kelverin, do not fuck your face. Thank you very much. It's a good face that, you know, gave us money, so. But moving on to more kind of industry stuff. This one kind of excites me. The people who had brought you the show Chernobyl for HBO are bringing us the Last of Us series. And HBO... Okay, that's an interesting thing to pop up and scroll. Anyway, HBO does not exactly give bad shows basically ever. So if they're the ones producing it, like if there was a Netflix original or especially an Amazon original, I might be like, I don't know about that, but HBO is putting out this show with great producers already, and they are apparently already in the talks with the people who will be the actors on the show, despite the fact that the whole internet wants the people who actually did Joel and Ellie to play them on the TV show.
There are other people who want, oh my god, I'm gonna butcher it. I think it was Hugh Jackman and Millie from the girl that played Eleven in Stranger Things.
Bobby Brown.
Thank you.
Throw out of youth college.
I could see that, but
Oh no, not Millie. Maisie Williams. Arya from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
but she's too old now for that.
No, she's about the right age. I mean, she's still she still looks like a kid.
yeah, and if people are calling for Ashley Johnson to play Ellie, like she's what, in her late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah, she's about my age.
Okay, that's fair.
But she's also like Maisie Williams. They both look perpetually young. And I mean, all of those shows that we watched growing up where it was like, oh, these are teenagers. Those people were in their 20s. Like Ralph Macchio in Karate Kid was 25 years old playing a 16-year-old.
We all watch Grease, right? It'll be fine.
Exactly. That gave me really unrealistic standards about what high school was actually going to be like. I was sorely disappointed.
I am still wanting Troy Baker to play Joel, though.
I always want Troy Baker in literally anything, so put Troy in. You put Troy in anything, I'm a pretty happy guy, and The Last of Us, if there was a video game that you were going to turn into a TV show, now, I don't know much about The Witcher, so I didn't watch the show, but I understand they did well with it. But man, The Last of Us screams this would be a great TV show. A lot happens, there's so much you could do with that world.
See, my thing is like, I'm just hoping that they don't make this like a Walking Dead style thing. But I mean, The Witcher, I can't comment on. I didn't play the games. I didn't watch the series. I read the books.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the books. They were fantastic. I don't want to taint them with the game or the series, so I'm fine there.
Fair. I mean, I don't know. I never got into literally anything Witcher related. I stare when people are like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. It's like 60 to 80 hours. It'll be over in no time. I don't have that time anymore. I'm already, like, side-eyeing Final Fantasy VII. Or like, oh, yeah, you should do all the side missions. It'll be like a 100-hour game.
I think we're getting old because, like, used to be, wait, you mean there's only 100 hours of content? And now it's like, can I really devote that?
If you promise me that a video game can be defeated in a weekend, congratulations, you've sold me. I don't know how many people have told me, oh, but the Link's Awakening, it was so short. It was only 14 hours long. How can you do that as a full-price game? It was great. Best game of last year. Control, no, take it off.
Like, I mean, typically the games that I'm playing are short, little 3, 4, 5 hour little jaunts. And that's fine. Like, that is completely fulfilling enough for me. Like, there are games that, yes, I do play for hundreds, if not thousands of hours. Warframe. But yeah, like, there are times where it's just like, I really don't want to get into something that is going to have to demand my time.
Yeah, you might have spent a few hours in Warframe and Grand Theft Auto. Just a few.
I think Warframe, in the year and a half that I played it heavily, I racked up something like 1,900 hours. And GTA, within the first 3 weeks, I was at almost 200 hours.
I feel better now about my 120 hours in Hades now, considering 5 hours I played on stream, and the rest of it I've played over 10 months worth of time, so.
Yeah, I recently flipped through my Steam list and I sorted by time played, and I got really saddened and decided that I need a life outside of video games.
It's a good call.
So for the last 3 days, I actually haven't played anything.
You know.
Dead serious.
I mean, considering I played Warcraft for 8 years, my played on that was, months long worth of time, so.
Yeah, I think when like my main character, my slash played on WoW was something like 9 to 12 months.
Speaking
I mean, if
of.
you guys feel any better. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I literally do not have enough tabletop gaming in my life right now, so I've fully sunk myself into Pillars of Eternity and Destiny. Or, sorry, Divinity. And yeah, I've got like 30 hours in each, and I've been playing for like 2 weeks.
Okay, so
And
apple does not far from tree. Got it.
and you regularly, like with work, you're doing 90 to 100-hour pay periods. So like every 2 weeks, you're doing like 50 hours a week.
Yeah, suffice it to say, I don't really sleep anymore.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like it. Speaking of games that I racked way too many hours into, the creators of Burnout are trying to make a comeback. Now, they've done a few little things here and there. Dangerous Driving 2. There was, Dirt, I believe, was one of the items they worked on. But they are working now on a fully open world game similar to Burnout Paradise, upcoming within the next few years. They had a bit of a demo at PAX. It wasn't quite fully done. It's going to be a while, from what I understand, before they will have a full game out. But there was a demo. The release is holiday 2020 for Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Switch that they brought along with them.
Now, I haven't played a Burnout game since Takedown.
Mm.
So we're going back to the original Xbox.
Mm.
And I fucking loved that game. So this may be my excuse to go back and explore some of the past titles and lose more of my life to a game.
I'll tell you right now, Burnout Paradise still has a great community running on Steam. There's a whole lot you can do in that game. So many different ways to play that game in the first place. If it's the same people from Burnout Paradise coming in and making this game, I'm pretty excited.
Well, I mean, look, what drew me to Burnout in the first place was that, I mean, so many racing games, you have to be like on your game. You've got to be like super precise and super alert and everything like that. And this is a game that I could play with half my brain focusing on it because I was encouraged to crash and cause mayhem.
I mean, yeah, it's not like your Forza games where you need to know, man, so this car has 800 horsepower, but this one... No, you got a little stat meter, and it shows you, hey, this car got more stat than that car, so you should take this new car. It better. It got a high number. Great. Perfect. Give that shit to me, because remembering the exact stat and steering column mechanics and which one is is this one one of the four-wheel drives car, or is this rear wheel with the drift, or no. All the cars tell you exactly how it handled directly on your stat screen. You got it, you go in, you crash your car a lot, and make thing go fast.
And kaboom.
You can't forget the boom. It's the earth-shattering kaboom, which, from my understanding, they did a bit of that with the original Dangerous Driving. It was mostly a crash simulator more than anything else.
Well, that's kind of what Takedown was like they had a game mode specifically for cause the most damage. And so, yeah, you're going to aim for every tanker truck you can find.
I've never been one in the Burnout games to really focus. I played a bit of those where you're trying to focus on getting your highest death and destruction toll, but being straightforward with you, I spent most of my time trying to do actual straightforward racing, right? The drive through and, of course, drive as stupidly as possible. Never drive in the right lane. Always drive off to the side where you can pick up and then sweep by the cars to get that little bit extra boost out, because you needed every fucking second of boost in Burnout at the late game. All of it. And you crash once, you're fucked. And I'm hoping they can bring back that level of frustration again. I don't know why I like that frustration so much when everything fucking explodes and you go, no, I lost everything! But at least it was pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty kaboom. So, I mean, any kaboom is a good kaboom, though.
And it's a 2020 release, so now you get particle effects, so you can watch the shit kaboom off of your car and things can go flying.
Really bad because I feel like I was like too young, or I am too young to like really got on the Burnout hype when it first started.
Yeah, Burnout had kind of a short window. What, it was like mid-aughts to about 2012 was the whole Burnout zone for when it was in its prime, and then it kind of disappeared, and everything is now for Horizon and Forza and all that good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I played the crap out of, but like when I really started getting into like console games seriously was like I think the release excuse me, of Halo 2 for the 360.
Fair enough. I never really got into Halo much myself, but I mean, like, as far as driving games, I've been playing them since the fucking Genesis, so
Same. I think I might still actually have my cartridge for Cruisin' USA for the SNES.
Oh, I stole that.
You stole it? That's where it went?
Drama live.
Sibling rivalry up the ass.
Oh yeah, Road Rash was absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. They could never follow up on Road Rash. Every like follow up to Road Rash 2 was a giant turd, but Road Rash 2 was amazing.
All right, so for my older gamers, do y'all remember Twisted Metal? when Ozzy actually stepped into video games.
I didn't like Twisted Metal. I know I am an outlier, but I was kind of bored by it.
I played it off and on now and again, but like didn't get as into it as like my serious racing games in my younger days.
Fair.
But also like back then I was more into like Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, as far as fighting games, like I think I peaked with Mortal Kombat trilogy, like the 1 through 3 back in ye olden days.
I think my peak was Soul Calibur 4, whichever one it was where they had like the special character per console and they had like Yoda and Darth Vader and Link, I
Yeah,
think, for the 3 respective systems.
yeah, Link was the GameCube one. I do remember that because everyone was like, "Oh, you can play as Yoda. It's great."
I was definitely a Soul Calibur 2 kid.
Yeah, you were deadly with Talum. I could never beat you.
I had to be good at something. You owned me in everything else, so.
Fair. And then we'd have our friend Steph over and we'd all play Perfect Dark. And we would play it as the rule of grenades only, proximity pinball only. And so your game method was to walk into a room, throw as many grenades as humanly possible, and then run like hell as they ricocheted around the room, turning it into a chamber of death.
Because she played as Elvis, so you couldn't even touch her if you got close enough for a melee attack.
See, that was the only way my friends could convince me to play the Halo multiplayer. Rockets and swords. That's all you get. Rockets and swords. I was an idiot that loved the kaboom.
We also did GoldenEye paintball.
Yeah,
So when
played a
our
lot
mom
of
was
that.
going, our mom would give us the, I don't like you playing these very violent video games. It'd be, no, mom, we're just playing paintball. That's all.
Yeah, I think GoldenEye paintball actually was directly responsible for my actual paintball and airsoft gun phase. So many of those stupid little plastic pellets just circling around my room. It's good times. Hey, speaking of violence, there was a surprise announcement that came out today. Now, it was a little bit expected. And thank you, Rebecca Valentine from GameIndustry.biz. There was actually 2 or 3 articles from her this week. But Activision has rolled out, there is going to be a Call of Duty Battle Royale mode called Warzone. Whether or not you have Modern Warfare, technically it's a part of Modern Warfare, but it will be a free-to-play game. So whether you have it or not, you can still get it. It'll have a Fortnite-like battle pass. It's $10. There are in-game transactions, but you can play it for free. There's a battle royale mode and a plunder mode where you are trying to gather resources and bring it back to your base and see who can get the most resources in X amount of time with 150 players instead of 100. So that sounds like chaos, and I'm for chaos.
I don't know. I mean, I am very much of the minority. I hate battle royales. I really do. I have played Darwin Project, and I like that because I can be the game master for it and rain chaos down upon the poor little minions they're playing. But actually being a player in those games, like I've tried Apex, I can't do it. I panic too much.
Yeah, I don't know how Brian does it. I know he usually tries out any of the battle royales, and I have to imagine he's probably going to spend a couple hours in Warzone himself. The idea of 150 players all playing Call of Duty at the same time sounds mind-breakingly chaotic to me. Just considering the nature of that game, it's it's a little bit more sneaky type of game, and getting the jump on people rather than in Fortnite where it's just fucking build and bounce around and be out in this field and build up and then take out everyone while they are confused, that sort of thing. I don't understand exactly how this will work, but considering the amount of money that is thrown into Call of Duty, I would expect this to go pretty big on Twitch within the next couple of days, especially. I'm expecting a whole lot of stuff to come out of this, to be real with you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like battle royale games on Twitch are huge. Absolutely huge. I mean, look at Fortnite. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm one of those minorities that I just don't see the appeal.
I mean, that's entirely fair. It's not for everyone. It's certainly not for me. And I have to say, making it cross-platform play, I feel bad for the console people who will be playing this because, man, the one thing I can definitively say, playing an FPS on keyboard and mouse, just there's no other way to play it and get that level of fidelity and accuracy. So they're just going to get their asses handed to them.
I mean, my fiance plays Smite constantly, like obsessively. And anytime he's in a lobby with anybody on a PC, he just gets so salty because he's going to lose right then and there.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I don't either, really. I mean, I like playing GTA. Yes, I'm playing on PC, but I use a gamepad. I don't use mouse and keyboard. There'll be times that I will switch to mouse and keyboard, but that's typically if I'm in like the turret of a vehicle. But beyond that, I'm straight up gamepad, and I have noticed the difference between playing with a controller versus playing mouse and keyboard. Like your Twitch aiming is just so much better with mouse and keyboard. It's non-existent on a gamepad.
No, and that's entirely fair. I mean, I think that's kind of part of why I'm not big on FPS is I just don't mouse and keyboard game well at all. So the moment that you take me away from my gamepad, if it's not Civilization, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Like Warframe, I will play exclusively keyboard and mouse. But GTA, my favorite part of that game is driving. I hate driving with mouse and keyboard.
Oh, no, that makes absolutely no sense to drive with mouse and keyboard. You don't get the same fidelity and movement. Fuck that.
Exactly. I finesse my driving. And as a result, I am like the dedicated getaway driver.
I also feel like so many games were like specifically built for PC, like FPSs, yeah, absolutely. But then you have games like Minecraft or Diablo or Smite or any be played on PC, not console.
Yeah, like I've played a bit of D3 on console, and it's fucking horrible.
Like, my roommate Josh will swear by Diablo on his Switch, and I don't understand, but bless him, he's enjoying it, so hell yeah, thumbs up. I can't do it, but go for it.
Yeah, no. Like Blizzard games, with the exception of Hearthstone, are mouse and keyboard. They always will be. Like even Overwatch, mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's my question to you guys: how do you like to play your Stadia games?
Sweetheart, I think you're the only one with Stadia.
Uh,
Oh yeah, Magdalene, that is something that we need to introduce you to. Travis is a collector of failed tech. He owns a Virtual Boy.
does he have the power glove?
No, it costs too much money, and I don't. It's like $300, but hey, there's a little box right here. Just a nice little. There you go. Get in that camera. Good.
Ooh, shiny.
I know, right?
Like he legit owns a Virtual Boy.
Mm-hmm. It's on display in the entryway to the house.
Jeez.
Either way, Business Insider decided to have a conversation with multiple developers, asking them, especially the indie people, why they didn't go to Stadia. And multiple of one executive at a publishing company described the amount of money that Google was offering to them as so low that it wasn't even part of the conversation.
Ow.
Another dev said the incentive was kind of non-existent. Which might explain why there's only 28 games on there, and they're primarily games that come from AAA people, so there's not a lot of the in-between stuff. I mean, you look at the Switch, the biggest seller of last year was Ori, of all things. I mean, surprising with the amount of, Luigi's Mansion, and Mario Maker 2 and all that came out, and then Ori was their big seller on it.
But Ori is amazing.
Also true. And of course, it's not like they don't have AAA games coming. You do have large tentpole games incoming, but I don't see one. If they have 28 games, and right now on their Game Pass thing with it, there's like 12 of those games available for free. Eventually, you're going to stack up all of those games as free games if you have the pass. If you don't keep getting more games.
It honestly just seems like Google's like, hey, you can have our name attached to your game, but we're not going to pay you for it.
Yeah, don't you want to be one of the cool people, get in on the ground floor?
Or it's like
It's just-
influencers asking people to do things for free, but for the exposure.
Exposure.
It's just garbage. It's just a way of big companies bullying indie devs, and it's not right. It's never been right.
And I mean, the indie games market is huge now. Like, a lot of the big games that people are loving so much are indie games. Like, look at the nominees for BAFTA. How many indies are on the list for best game?
Untitled Goose Game for the win.
Hyonk 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 goose.
Stadia, I nearly forgot about this. Self-owned themselves so hard on Twitter the other day. Spell your name using only video game titles. S, SteamWorld Quest, Thumper, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Doom Eternal. I, question mark. A, Attack on Titan 2.
Wow.
Well,
You don't even have enough games to fill up the alphabet in the tweet that you decided to make yourself. Good job.
I'm trying to think if I can do this with mine. So, minute, everything, shit, rage, observation, I can't think of anything for W and Y.
You
Warframe?
literally looking at your name, spelling it out.
Yeah, okay, Warframe. Y.
Yakuza?
Y. Yeah, yeah, why not? Yakuza. What about N though?
Nier?
Wasn't a big fan of Nier, but fine.
Hey, John Borg, how's it going?
Hi, John Borg.
Way too long to try and spell like that, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on 2 hours of sleep, so I'm not even going to try to spell out Yakuza right now.
Ooh, wait, we can go Mario Kart, Assassin's Creed, and Gears of War.
There you go. So while we're still on Stadia, IGN has confirmed something kind of weird. So the head of Santa Monica Studio that brought you multiple games is heading to Stadia. Shannon Studsill, the lady who brought you God of War.
Why?
They've brought in the veteran Yumi Yang to come in and head Santa Monica. But that is goddamn amazing that they must have dropped some amazing money to get Shannon Studstill after bringing you 2018's Game of the Year, God of War, into the Stadia development. Now, after Stadia is a released console. It's not like you're going to make a video game overnight.
I mean, she's had, like, in fairness, Yang has had multiple roles with PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
She's got almost 20 years of experience in the industry. So, I mean, I think Santa Monica Studio is in good hands. But at the same time, Shannon, my friend, the fuck you thinking? Why? You're going to be looking for a new job in a year.
Maybe
I think it's one of those situations where it's just like it could be the next $1 million console. It's too early to tell. Everyone had their issues with the Wii when it came out. So I mean, give it time to really do well.
Yeah, but the Wii, despite the issues, was still impossible to find for months following its release because it sold out that quickly. Like each wave they released was selling out. Stadia never reached sellout status.
Well, you can't.
And look at the time it was released too. Like now you have every gaming YouTuber reviewing every little piece of content that's coming out. You're getting warned away from things before you even get the chance to experience itself. Unlike when the Wii came out, form their own opinion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you take a look at Stadia, Stadia is nothing. It's air. You know, you can play most of the games with the mouse and keyboard. You can use a fucking Xbox One controller for all it matters. It's literally whatever connects.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Stadia needs to really expand its library and really wow me if I'm ever going to consider it.
Oh yeah, right now I'm just holding on to it for the laugh value, but they've got a ways to go. Let's say that.
I heard they make really good paperweights, though.
It does hold the paper well. While we're talking about odd decisions, I'm so happy for this one because I get to talk about Reggie Fils-Aimé for a long time now because he has come back and has decided to join the board of directors at GameStop. He's back, his body is ready for GameStop, and he is going to change them around with fresh, new Reggie Fils-Aimé ideas.
I'm almost afraid to see what those ideas will be.
I mean, considering this man's history, he was the one that brought Pizza Hut back from being a fucking laughingstock before coming to Nintendo. He was part of what drove the Wii to becoming such a huge breakout success. And now moving on to GameStop, maybe he can bring it back?
I mean, this is starting to feel like This Week in Questionable Career Decisions. But, like, Reggie, buddy, why? I mean, I think GameStop, honestly, they are so far gone.
Mm.
They should have just called it probably a year, 2 years ago. Give Think Geek back its own original IP, let it become independent again, versus dragging it down and then ultimately crushing its soul, causing it to shut down. Yes, I'm still bitter about this. Like just leave it be. Let GameStop go quietly into that good night and just let it die, guys. Let it die. The days of physical media are gone.
Oh, I love this part in Venture Beat at the very end. GameStop stock traded as high as $56 at the start of the current generation of consoles. It closed at $3.76 on the NYSE today.
Okay, yeah, but looking at the state of the New York Stock Exchange right now, given that they actually tripped their little virtual circuit breaker because it dropped too far too fast and trading was halted for 15 minutes this morning. I don't think that's an accurate depiction of how well their stock is doing.
Touche. That's yeah, you're not wrong. But all right, here's my hot take. Reggie, ready to retire. GameStop approached him. Do you want to just do a little bit of work here, you know? I mean, you can come in and help us out, right, buddy? We've always been good to you. And Reggie went, you know what? I've got the time. I've got the energy. Fuck it, why not? You got me. I'm in. Let's build GameStop. I think this is his pet project. This is his, I'm bored, let's see if I can do something just for the fun of it. And if it fails, he's Reggie Fils-Aimé. He can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's rich.
Okay, devil's advocate opinion. He's doing this so it will tank and people will leave him the fuck alone so he can enjoy his retirement.
He's doing it so he can partner with Nintendo and force them to put out Mother 3. GameStop only exclusive, baby, brings back everybody.
I'm just waiting for the Stadia to reach out, try to hire him.
Yeah, Reggie can literally do whatever the fuck he wants. He's got the money, he's got the bank, and he's got the notoriety and name. Let him have fun with GameStop for a few years, and maybe then he'll go back to teaching again like he was going to do. It's fine, he'll have fun.
I would love to have him as a marketing prof. That would be amazing.
God, can you imagine being one of those students who got to say, yeah, my professor was Reggie. My body is ready, Reggie. I mean, it's like all those children out in Maine that got to say, Stephen King was my English professor.
I don't know if he should be proud of that.
I mean, the man puts out 5 books in an afternoon, so there's got to be something going on well for him.
Yeah, Family Guy, I think, did a bit on that about how it's like, well, the new book. It's about a lamp. Yes, a haunted desk lamp. Like
It's an easy hit, let's say. It's a little on the nose. Either way, I know we talked about COVID-19 a little bit before, but our last story for the evening, we're going to hit back on it just a little bit. Uh, so basically, all of the people who would make the video games, and thank you Hayden Taylor from GameIndustry.biz, have basically all said, would you fucking please work from home? Both Microsoft and Nintendo's employees out there on the West Coast have told their employees to head home. I know as well several other companies have done the same. And for at least Microsoft, Nintendo, and Facebook, I can't say for others, they have promised for, their house workers, the people who keep the place physically running and clean, your maintenance people, etc. They'll continue to be paid during this time as well. So I just kind of want to say that's kind of fucking cool of the employers. It sucks that it took literally a pandemic for them to figure out how to allow people to work from home, especially those people with disabilities and whatnot. But it's a fucking start.
yeah, and I mean it's great to see. I will admit, I'm a little jealous given that we do have people on staff at my job that are home based.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just make all of us home based?
Yeah, it's not like you're outside of a city that already has a couple of reported cases and everything.
It's not like I'm an hour away from a city that has what 24 reported cases? And, a good chunk of our staff commute from that area.
Yeah, you would be so easy to get to work from home. You've been with the company for years. And it's already a job where some people fucking work from home.
Exactly.
John
I may
Boyd.
play.
Go ahead.
I may play devil's advocate on this one, just as somebody who is extremely frustrated with this whole situation. But as someone who is ordering a crap ton of stuff for their wedding in the next 3 months, the amount of things that have been delayed in their delivery by like 2 or 3 months because of this whole thing is so aggravating. Nobody is working.
Yeah, because your dress was like 2 months late, wasn't it?
Oh,
Ooh. John Borg, I love the point that you made. Now is a fucking wonderful time to be a delivery driver, especially in the places that are affected by this. All of these people working from home. If you're a DoorDash driver, I have to imagine you're making a fucking killing right now.
Yeah, but the risk is going to be so much higher. How many houses are these people that are like, quarantined?
Oh, that's easy. You just put down the bag and you say, "Hi, have a nice day." Pick it up and fucking go.
Just run away. Run away.
I mentioned the 3-page email we got from HR for our company. Apparently, if you have been to the doctor and they decide that you have any flu-like symptoms, you're induced quarantine for 14 days, unpaid.
Nice.
I reached out to our HR department and went, so, we've got 10 sick days a year.
Mm.
So even assuming that you haven't used any sick days yet this year, which in my environment is very unlikely, what happens because it's a mandatory 14 to 17 day quarantine? And, you know, after 10 days, you start putting us on warnings and then we get our final and then we're fired. And I got back well, we have no strategy in place. We will work with our employees on a case by case basis.
Super.
Which means even if you are that ill, you need to come into work to talk to HR.
Our HR department also sent out an email today saying we're going to have a board meeting on Friday to discuss how we're going to handle it, and we'll have your manager talk to you later if there are any changes. They ain't figured out shit at my company. They'll have a meeting to discuss it. Now, don't affect me at all, because I work from home fucking anyway. You see where I am right now? This is where I work all goddamn day, every day. After this stream's over, I want to be back to working right here, where I am. So, meh.
I mean, I am all for working from home. Especially if you're in an industry that can be done remotely. I can see the drawbacks to working from home.
They do kind of
I mean, there are people that I hang out with at work that keep me sane-ish. I know I don't exhibit that sanity ever. And I would miss them a lot. But dear God, please let me work from home. I'm scared of the world as is. It's a fight to leave my apartment every day. I actually have to sit and bargain with myself every day to leave my building. And with all of this epidemic panic going on, it's not giving me much incentive to want to leave.
You know, Coop makes a fair point. At least your leader is not telling people, go into work, it'll be fine. You'll cough for a day or two, everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's true. But our leader has been actually fairly quiet on all of this. He hasn't said much. He's actually letting the experts deal with it, which is a little refreshing.
Good. Yeah, don't put fucking Mike Pence in charge of it. Go to the experts. Have them in charge.
Yeah, like there are people who have done decades of schooling specifically to deal with this.
Breathe. Hey, you know, do you really want to talk about stupid? Because we can do stupid. We can
Well,
do
I
real
mean,
stupid.
It's that time again, isn't it?
It is time for Mr. Video Games for Monday, March the 9th, 2020. We've got a hell of a Mr. Video Games for this week. Of course, if you do not know, Mr. Video Games, as always, is the person, place, thing. It is some noun of some form that has done something so great, so stupid, so wonderful, so asinine, that you can only look at and go, man, that right there, that is fucking video games.
And oh my God, you are right. I just looked at who it is. We do have a hell of a Mr. Video Games for you tonight, guys. Hold on to your butts.
Oh, jeez.
And Mr. Video Games for March the 9th, 2020 is a certain man, Carl Reimer. If you haven't heard about this man, he is a Twitch streamer who has just been banned from Twitch. Let's play the goddamn clip.
Hostile veto warship inbound.
Bitch, say I ain't got money. Say I ain't got money. God damn. What the fuck?
And to make it better, he has admitted that he was
I
very
swear to God,
drunk.
I just emptied the mag.
Yeah, there's a fucking course can right there. The dude had been drinking all night, playing video games, reaches over to his gun in the middle of, like, talking about some guy online that he's playing with, and then fucking discharges his gun. Live on stream.
Wait, I have a question.
Mhm.
Is he American?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so kids, this shit doesn't happen in Canada. We have gun controls. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit.
Oh, I'm trying so hard not to swear right now, but what the heckity heck? Holy crap.
Coop, yeah, that is definitely a shoe next to his Coors can. Doesn't even drink good beer, drinks Coors Light.
I'm with John Borg. Play it again, play it again!
Playing it again.
Holy crap.
Bitch, say I ain't got money. Say I ain't got money. God damn.
Also,
Fuck.
as a note, because I have friends who have their gun licenses,
I swear to God, I just emptied the
the
mag.
fact that it is sitting in a holster on his desk, it should be locked out and in a gun safe and not stored with the ammunition in the weapon in any way, shape, or form. Like, that is basic gun safety.
Can we all just have a moment of silence for the poor can of gamer fuel that had to give its life on stream?
F in chat, guys. F in chat.
Reggie, no Reggie.
Yeah,
But, like, here, keeping them secured and locked away, unless you are cleaning or transporting, is law. If you're transporting, there has to be a lock that goes through the trigger mechanism, so it cannot accidentally be discharged. If it is being transported, it cannot be loaded. This is just... I'm
Okay,
really upset.
my big question here is why? Why was he showing it off on stream in the first place? Like, what possible reason? You're drinking G Fuel, you obviously have a gaming setup. Why? Like, what point are you trying to get across at this point?
Well, and it's also the fact that weaponry, like IRL weaponry, as far as I know, is against the terms of service on Twitch.
Isn't that why he got kicked off?
That was why he was kicked off as well. His sponsor, Sora Gaming, also fired him.
Oh, man.
I just can't. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll gloss over the fact that there was a shooting yesterday in Hamilton, so the city very close to me. But like, it seems like every other day I'm seeing news from the States of somebody got shot.
There was a shooting down the road from here, actually, yesterday. It was an accident, but a couple was out having a nice steak dinner when a dude accidentally shot his girlfriend. And when the police asked the woman what happened, she did her best to cover for her boyfriend while she was bleeding out from a gun wound. That is some ride or die bullshit right there.
Okay, and so you live in like happy, quiet Suburbiaville.
Mm.
What the fuck is wrong with your country, guys?
Wait, we are allowed to swear?
Yes.
Yeah, swearing's fine.
I didn't know this. What the fuck?
It's not nearly as bad when I lived back in Georgia, also, you know, in the suburbs, and people would go to the grocery store carrying an AR-15 on their back because it was their God-given right to carry guns. America, fuck yeah!
Man, I live in downtown Toronto. It is not a safe place to be. There's literally a shooting. But literally one of the last shootings in Toronto, the gunman apologized.
Oh, that's Canadian as
And
shit.
he shot himself in the leg and still apologized.
That's beautiful. Take a breath. Everything's good here.
Yes, Kelvorin, that is Maximum Canada right there. Actually, no, Maximum Canada, and this will be your Today I Learned. There is actually, in Canada, a government-regulated maple syrup cartel.
Yeah, there actually is a show on Netflix that goes over the great syrup heist of the early aughts. That was a fun story to watch.
It's a devastating moment in Canadian history.
All right, let's go ahead and start to wind down here. Coop, Kelverin, John Borg, Sebastian, all you other fine fucking people out there listening tonight, thank you for listening to us talking about Virus-I and guns and Reggie Fils-Aimé and how ready his body is. It's a good episode. Magdalene, thank you so much for joining us, filling in for Brian, who is going to be back next week. Do you have any final words for us this evening, Magdalene?
Well, thank you for having me, for one. 2, wash your hands. 3, gun safety, people.
Merwin, any final words tonight?
As always, guys, be cool to each other. Be the change you want to see in the world. I'm going to echo Maggie here and say, wash your fucking hands. Gun safety, most definitely. Dear God, USA, what the hell is wrong with you? And that is a rhetorical question because the list will be too long. I love you guys, but seriously, the fuck. I know my streaming schedule's been fucky lately. I will be back Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I have no idea what we're playing. I'm going to figure that out over the next couple of days. And as usual, like Twitter handle is down below. You can follow me at lmerowin. Maggie, if you want to throw your Twitter handle in the chat, I'm pretty sure some of our fine viewers would follow you as well. I am planning on dragging Maggie back over here at some point for a stream, but I will make sure that I throw that up in both the Dead Sun Discord as well as my own. And yeah, guys, try to have a good week. Don't get sick. Don't do the dumb. And if you're having to stream on Twitch, don't wave a gun around. Please. Bad things happen.
All right, I'm going to say if you happen to be one of the fine people of the greater state of Michigan, vote Bernie. Vote Bernie tomorrow. I still expect Biden to win, and I'm going to vote for Biden one way or another. But yeah, go for that. Of course, I'm Slacker Kite here on Twitch, on Twitter. Our YouTube is CBGP Games. I promise I will update the stream ending slide at some goddamn point and actually put in the correct name for myself. Videos always export after the show to CBGP Games. That is our home for all of our videos. I'll probably have an announcement later in the week. I think it'll be Thursday evening. I'll do some Hades, either tomorrow night or Wednesday night. I'll get the feel for the new content so that I'm able to actually tell you what the fuck's going on while I'm doing it and not just going, what is this shit? Anyway, thank you everyone, of course, for coming. It's been a great night. We'll figure out all the things that we're planning, and we will get back to you. And we are so excited about the future here for Dead Son. Have a great night and pleasant tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.